Hello everyone, this is Dan Fitz from ATF Gaming and welcome back to F1 2018 Career Mode. Today we will be moving on from the Bahrain International Circuit where we had a very successful run. Let's go into the workstation so we can review how successful we
You
ran
hit
it.
the last team goal. Well done.
So,
That should get the team a nice boost to their development.
Emma,
And it won't hurt when it comes to your next contract review either.
Shush, Emma, I'm trying to show the people something. Yes, so if you see, we finished 6th. Esteban finished 10th, so we got our first points both for us and for our team. So we are doing good there. Next we have China, I believe, which not one of my stronger racetracks, honestly. What is this debrief? Good going out there. We were worried about a couple potential reliability issues over the weekend, and especially in the race. So to get through that gives me a chance to breathe and try to root out some of our underlying problems. To make it to the end and come away with a good result pleases me to no end. So well done. Thank you, Carl. Much appreciated. So it doesn't look like we have an invitational event, so we're going to move on to the next race here. I apologize for some of the frame rate issues we had last episode. I know I put a little thing in there. I think I've got it fixed out. I updated my graphics driver, so I'm hoping that solves the problem. I updated some graphics settings as well, so I'm hoping that it's going to be better this time around. It just seemed like for the race itself...
We had a major issue on the production line earlier this week, so the entire development package for this weekend has failed. Check your workstation for the details.
Carl? The upgrade? Is that what you're talking about? The upgrade didn't go through? Oh, no. You gotta be kidding me. So does that mean I have to do it again? I gotta spend more money? Well, that is an upgrade we need, so I'm gonna have to do it. So we'll have it next week for Azerbaijan, which is important. Oh, freaking Carl, why'd you have to start me off with such bad news? Tutorials, goal, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Not too worried about that. Weather forecast, well, department failed, yeah, I am worried about that, but not as much. But we have Shanghai International Circuit in China. Let's head off to practice, and I'll see you guys once it's over with.
An interesting practice session there then. Let's remind ourselves of the top 3, who are Raikkonen, Vettel and Lewis Hamilton. Thank you for joining us for free practice today. We'll be back with more Formula One action very shortly.
Alright, so I didn't really do a fast lap practice, so I'm perfectly understanding of why I'm 18th on the board. I did the track acclimatization and the tire management program, so neither one of those really lead to a fast lap, so that's fine, 18th. Esteban, however, it looks like he did a qualifying run, so he's up to 6th. Don't know if that'll stick, but let's head off to FP2 or an interview, depending on what happens.
Great work out there today. How do you think it went?
Great work. I don't know what...
Got a bit of rivalry going on. How did that come about?
People are always going to compare drivers
It's
of
the start
similar
of the
ability.
season. How do you think things are going to go for you?
With a great team like this, they can't fail.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Alrighty. So my sportsmanship went up both times.
As all the cars are now over the line, your top 3 again are Vettel, Ricciardo and Fernando Alonso. That concludes an interesting practice session. Let's hope for more excitement as the weekend unfolds.
Alright, so that session we did the qualifying objective, and I attempted to do the fuel mileage saving, but that was a miserable failure. So we're definitely going to have to put extra fuel in the car, most likely, this week. But we were 5th, but it does look like most of the front runners, Raikkonen, Verstappen, Bottas, Hamilton, did not do a qualifying run. But we were we did split the Haas cars, so I personally think that's about where we need to be. I'm also still dealing with some graphics issues on my end, not so much the recording end, but on my end, so I'm still trying to figure that out. But let's move on to FP3.
Quick look at the classification at the end of the session then. Here are your top three: Hamilton, Verstappen and Kimi Räikkönen. Practice times are on the board then, but no points are on offer just yet. We'll be back with more F1 action soon.
Alright, so we were 12th in that practice session. Honestly, that's probably about where to expect us this weekend. I just can't get a good grip on this track. It's always been one of my least favorite tracks, and I don't know what it is about the car. I'm just not a fan of it at this point. Esteban seems to be doing good, but again, he used some ultra soft, but I only use soft, so I don't know what to expect, honestly. But I am expecting, around 10th to 12th area, probably. But let's head off to Q1. Well, I'm clearly doing something right. I have a feeling that most people just kind of took a chill lap there, especially the likes of Vettel, Verstappen, Ricciardo, Raikkonen. I have a feeling most of them just kind of chilled out a little bit on their lap because we're third after Q1. Esteban barely made it into Q2 and 14th, but again, I expect, Vettel, Verstappen, Ricciardo, Raikkonen for sure to pass us. Grosjean was faster than us in practice, as was Alonso, so I don't expect to be up there this high, but that's a good sign. Let's move on to Q2. Alright, so Q2, we're about where I expected. We're the fastest of the rest, as you call it in F1, because you got Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, all 6 of those guys in the top 6, and we're the best of the rest right now. Esteban, however, repeated his 14th place effort, so he will start there and not make it to Q3, but we can make it to Q3, and we have 2 sets of tires on us, so that is excellent. We should be able to put down a decent lap. Obviously, we're starting in top 10, so we're already in good shape. So let's move on to Q3.
As we wind down from the excitement of qualifying, here's a look at your top three: Hamilton, Raikkonen and Daniel Ricciardo. Goodbye for now then, but we're really just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
Alright, so we qualified 7th, which is the best of the rest. I will definitely take that. We got Hamilton, Raikkonen, and Ricciardo on the pole. We beat out Hülkenberg, Magnussen, and Alonso. So, I'm very happy with that qualifying effort. Realistically, we're actually pretty close to Verstappen for 6th place, but then there's a bit of a gap. So, I think 6th is probably the best we can do without some rain or some strategy involved. So, let's head off to the race and see what we have in store for us.
Good day today. Tell us about it from your perspective.
I mean, it was a great day, but let's see what our options are here.
It's been a great qualifying session for you. Are you going to carry that momentum into the race?
Alright, we'll do that.
We've not seen much development progression for your car recently. Why is that?
Alright, we're not performing as hard to get resources to invest. Yeah, I know, but
Great. Well, that's everything.
I mean, it's true. I mean, you guys failed the last resource point excursion, so it's not my fault.
Ever since the Sauber of Felipe Massa passed Jenson Button into turn 1 at the very first Chinese Grand Prix in 2004, Shanghai has consistently provided close racing and extraordinary memories. It's where Lewis Hamilton effectively lost the title in his rookie year, and it's where Nico Rosberg claimed Mercedes' first win of the modern era in 2012. We start a lap here at Shanghai with the long, difficult right-handers of turns 1 and 2, the first of 16 corners that make up this 3.3-mile circuit. The incredibly long back straight provides the best passing opportunity of the lap, with speeds in excess of 200 miles per hour before the braking zone of turn 14. With me today, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Now, I want to ask you about Marcus Ericsson. As ever, the threat of unreliability is never far away, and indeed they'll be starting out of position today due to a power unit component change. So it's going to be a difficult task to move forward from there.
Everyone has to deal with penalties or reliability issues from time to time throughout their career. You just have to suck up the pain and get on with the job at hand.
Today isn't about performing a miracle to put the car back where it should be. It's about effective damage limitation.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Kimi Raikkonen completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Vettel, Valtteri Bottas, and Verstappen, the Professor, Hülkenberg, Magnussen, and Fernando Alonso, Van Dorn, Sainz, Roman Grosjean, and Hartley, Gasly, Leclerc, Sergei Sirotkin, and Lance Stroll, Ocon, and Marcus Ericsson rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
So interesting.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
Yes, agreed. Ocon had to take a penalty. I'm wondering what that's for. But let's take a look at the race strategy here. Let's edit the strategy here. So obviously moving that pit window will help us. Yeah, so I think that's what we're going to do. Yep, that obviously won't make a difference. Alright. So I think that's what we're going to do right there. The only risk with doing that is I'm pretty sure that's when everybody else is going to be pitting as well. But that's fine. Yeah, we'll just do that. That's fine. Car setup we can't do anything with, so let's start the race. Lights out. We'll try to get to the inside once Hülkenberg gets around. Oh god, this is... oh no. I was going to settle with that, but honestly, I can't. This is just a horrible starting area right here. But we're going to get back up to 8th. We got Magnussen on our inside, but we power around the outside. Alright, I just couldn't settle for that. I was really tempted to try to, but I just could not. We'll try to get Hülkenberg here. Actually, we'll get underneath Verstappen as well. See if we can get a run off the corner on Verstappen. We can. We're in the P6. But then I mess up getting on the grass. Alright, that obviously didn't help us, but honestly, I don't think we would have got much higher anyway. So now we just got to protect from Verstappen, who is hot on our tail, along with everybody else in the field. But I would consider that a successful start. We did have to use the flashback, but unfortunately, I just couldn't settle for what we were dealt there. It was such a hard first turn, and I think there was some lag glitching in there, so I just couldn't settle for that. And honestly, we're not that far away from the top 5. If we could really nail some corners, have a good pit stop, I think the top 5 is definitely possible. But Verstappen is definitely hot on our tail.
You'll be on the softs.
We do have the speed advantage over Red Bull, clearly. But we just don't have the chassis advantage over them. But straight line speed is definitely one of our strong suits. And we went for the low downforce, higher top speed as well. So I think that'll definitely help us in a straight line. And considering we do have 2 fairly long straightaways here, I definitely felt like that was unnecessary.
Power output will be less than optimal.
Great. Great. We are reaching that point of the season where we're going to start having some part issues, so we got to keep that in mind as well. But we just got to try to save up our equipment because there's most definitely not time to change anything. Alright, mess that up. He's going to try to go inside. Not going to happen, but he could pull the crossover. That was not a good set of turns for us, but hopefully we got straight line advantage here. DRS has not been activated yet, but he does have a better run off of that previous corner. Had a game glitch out there, so I was being extra conservative. The frame rate seems to be holding up, but we do have those momentary glitches. Very similar to 2017, so nothing too unexpected there. Alright, DRS is enabled now, so we're definitely going to have to worry about that now. Not only from Verstappen, but from whoever's behind him, because I can definitely see that error on my screen as well. Have to believe it's probably Magnussen or Hulkenberg. But it does seem like we have a bit of a gap after Hulkenberg, so if we mess up, we could lose 2 spots, but after that, I don't think we'll lose any. Oh, I tried to avoid the curb and slowed down a bit too much there. This is high pressure situations right now. I can definitely feel my heart racing a bit. We are catching up to Ricardo. Bottas got around Ricardo. They haven't really managed to pull away from us, so that's a good thing. The problem is Ricardo's probably going to get DRS on Bottas, so that'll be a moot point there. But we're also going to have to deal with DRS from Verstappen and possibly Hulkenberg. So I'm just going to protect the bottom. If they have to pass, go on the outside. Does he have DRS? Yes, he does. But he's not going to get to me, surprisingly enough. I was fully expecting to be passed there, but definitely think this front stretch could be a passing zone. Whoa, Ricardo's in the pits. Already?
Push now. We're boxing this lap.
Oh yeah, that would have been the lap we would have pitted on had I not adjusted the strategy. So we gotta go full out. I'm going rich fuel mix here. See if we can maybe overcut Ricardo here. It's definitely a possibility. But this is probably the only time in the race we're going to be able to go on rich, considering my horrible fuel saving at this track for whatever reason. Don't get on the grass. We are going to come in this time. Man, this track...
Pretty much burned off our excess fuel. We'll be back on target soon. Don't wait too long to turn the engine down.
This track is eating up tires because this is a rather early pit stop, I feel. But yes, I know about the fuel.
Box this lap, please.
Well aware. I just hope we don't get boxed in.
Clear.
Oh, there's a caution out there. That could be perfect timing if we can get a virtual safety car. Or even a regular safety car. But we are coming in. I assume pretty much everybody else will as well. Oh. There was so much game glitching going on there. I have to take a flashback. I didn't want to, but I absolutely have to. Because I don't know what the frick just happened. Yeah, so much game glitching going on right there. That looks like possibly my teammate who's having the issues causing the caution. Come on, just let me go, let me go, let me go. Let me go, let me go!
Go. Exit now. We're racing on the exit.
Oh my god.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops.
Well, not only did we lose our spot to Verstappen, but getting a top 5 is 100% out of the question right now. frick me, man. Everybody came in there and we just got boxed in. And that is Esteban who had the issues, so... Teammate not having as much fun, however. Well, actually, considering my current state of mind, he's having just about as much fun. Speaking of state of mind, I'm just driving the living crap out of my everything, honestly. And now here comes Carlos Sainz, of all people, who I don't think is pitted yet. But this is just a miserable situation right now. And there goes Carlos, even though I have to believe he still has to pit. Alright, I do see a couple people coming into pit. Carlos is not one of them. Sorokin, Leclerc,
0.6 seconds.
Gasly, saw them flashing by on the leaderboard. So I do think there's still one more person who has to pit up in front. Once they get to the straightaway, I'll look to see who it is. Might be Hulkenberg, or Hulkenberg just leapfrogged us and Verstappen there, which is very possible. But I do think that's Hulkenberg in front of Verstappen. If that's the case, that's just incredibly disappointing. I have thought about possibly flipping the tire strategy, doing what I thought Carlos Sainz was on, starting with softs and then going to ultra softs, but I don't know. I don't know if they'll even allow me to do that when I start in the top 10. But I also need to think about possibly stopping even one lap later than what I just did, because it still was better than pitting early from what it said on the strategy thing, but I don't know. I'll have to think about it going into the next race. We had this issue last race too, so I probably should have thought about it going into this race, but oh well.
You're coming up to one of the Red Bulls.
Coming up to, they're gone, man. They're gone. I don't know what you're thinking, what you're talking about, honestly. I'm just trying to pull away from freaking Carlos Sainz now. Who I guess is on my strategy, and that is for a position. So Hulkenberg leapfrogged both me and Verstappen there, which is incredibly disappointing. So I definitely got to reconsider my strategy going forward. I'm just trying to get away from Sainz at this point. The fact that he's sticking with me is incredibly concerning. A safety car would be wonderful right now. I'm just going to put that out there. Oh, I messed up that corner. He's going to have a run, DRS, all of the above. Maybe. Yep, here he comes. But I managed to maintain. But I do see Mr. Ricardo, or not Ricardo, Verstappen getting around Hulkenberg ahead. That did seem to slow him down a bit because I actually can see them now. But I don't think I have any shot at catching Hulkenberg, especially with his teammate breathing down my neck. We need that chassis upgrade big time. It's such a struggle getting through corners right now. We have great top end speed, but it's just the struggle getting through the corners right now. Well, hopefully we don't have another failure with that, and we can have that by Azerbaijan, which will be very helpful in those tight corners. But we do have those long straights to Azerbaijan, so it might be possible that we're going to have a good day there. But I'm more worried about the fact that freaking Carlos Sainz is still here.
Okay, gap ahead is 2.5 seconds.
I do feel like I've closed that gap to Hulkenberg, but it doesn't really mean crap right now. Especially as I mess that up.
Okay, some information on Magnussen. They're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
Some sort of problem with Magnussen. Interesting. Very interesting. But that doesn't mean squat to us except for the points, where Haas is our closest competitor in the constructors. But it does look like Renault is going to have a really good day, and Ocon is last right now, so I am the points bearer for us right now. But I don't know where Grosjean is either, so could be a good constructors points day. And Hulkenberg is definitely right there now. I'm catching up to him. And therefore I am catching up to Verstappen ever so slightly. So I don't know if I have enough time to get by them, but it's definitely a possibility. Unfortunately, I don't have any fuel to go on rich, so I'm going to have to stay on normal and hope that that's enough.
We have 5 laps of fuel remaining.
And 5 laps left in the race, so as I said, not enough fuel to really burn. But I'm definitely catching Hulkenberg. It's just a matter of whether there's enough time. And I'm also pulling away from Carlos Sainz. I have to believe he's out of DRS range now. So I've definitely shifted a little bit in the Renault sandwich. And I have DRS here. Beautiful. I'm going to be able to catch Hulkenberg here. Or at least close the gap going into the snail turn. Well, that is definitely helpful. I'm in DRS range now. Well, I can definitely get Hulkenberg, but do I have enough time to possibly catch Verstappen as well is the question.
It should be a few laps at least before you start feeling too many tyre issues. They seem in good condition for the time being.
Yes, thank you for that update, Jeff. Much appreciated. Not like I really cared. Alright, we just gotta stay in DRS range on Hulkenberg right now. That's the big thing. Stay in DRS range, please. Oh, thank the Lord. Oh, game glitch high. We gotta run. And we're going to get DRS here, so hopefully by the snail turn we're going to have a clear sailing.
The gap to the leader is 17.
But I definitely feel like that last turn was going to be the best passing opportunity. I'm going to try to get him here. But he'll have the advantage going into... Oh, just run into me, why don't you? But we got it. Fortunately, that whole thing
There's 4 laps of fuel remaining.
in that whole sequence for stopping is gone now. So now it's just a matter of me staying here in 7th. And of course our advantages are on the straight, so now that he has DRS, that kind of makes that a moot point.
Gap to car in front is 5.3 seconds.
Yeah, he gained about 3 seconds on me in that sequence, so that's unfortunate, but hopefully we can hold off Mr. Hulkenberg here. Does he get DRS? Yes, he does, and he is coming. And Carlos Sainz is actually caught up to the pack as well. So he and his teammate are going to be having at it here shortly. It looks like,
Okay,
yeah.
we're monitoring some wear on the ICE. Be aware that we will start to see a loss of power.
Oh god, he's here. I was so worried about looking at what he was telling me to look at. 55% on the ICE, so nothing too dire right now. We'll probably still have to get another race out of it. But I really shouldn't be worrying about that right now. Because not only is Hulkenberg trying to pass me, Carlos Sainz is right here as well. We have been side by side for like 5 corners. We touched wheels, we locked wheels there. We're still side by side. Hulkenberg doesn't seem to care that we're side by side right there. I certainly hope he got a warning or a penalty for that. That was dirty right there. That was flat out dirty. But I should get DRS here, so that'll save me. Easily pass him, even before the corner. Very possible that Carlos Sainz might get around too. And I'm actually, oh, the DRS thing showed up for a minute and I got excited.
We have 2 laps of fuel remaining.
And 2 laps to go in the race. You actually might be a little short on fuel. We have to run lean for a minute here just to make sure we're set there. Alright. That should have been enough. We saved about 3/100ths of a lap. That's all we really needed. Oh god. Curbs there. Not a smart idea. Oh great, here we go again. I'll give you room, unlike you did to me on that corner last lap. But he'll have DRS here, probably get side by side. Yep. Oh, that was a risky move. Oh, and it's not going to pay off. That was a risky move, alright.
This is your final lap. Final lap of the race.
Alright, white flag is out, sponsored by Credit One Bank. Got by him again going into the snail. Let's see if we can maintain Again, I'm surprised Carlos Sainz has been as nice as he has been. Granted, it is his teammate, so, but I really think Carlos has had a couple opportunities to pass him. But it's just going to be a matter of how the DRS works going into the last two corners. I'm really going to have to be defensive going into that last corner because I don't have the opportunity to use the second DRS, so I'm just going to have to be super, super defensive. Alright, is he going to give me room going into this corner?
It is 9.1 seconds.
Alright, I'm just going to have to maintain the bottom. He's going to have DRS. So I just got to stay on the bottom. Well, he actually lost some ground there. Kimi Räikkönen wins. Good for him. Good for him. I don't know how, but Hulkenberg lost some ground going into that second to last turn. And I think... Don't count your chickens before they hatch. Alright. I think, and we do, finish in 7th.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Best of the rest. I will take that. Second race in a row that we've been up there, best of the rest. But definitely a good race overall. Definitely a lot of pressure by the Renault boys at the end, but we managed to stay put.
Great effort there from Ferrari to take the victory today. So, Ant, how exactly did they set themselves apart from the pack today?
The difference was clearly in the strategy. You could tell they'd done a lot of work on the pit wall to really optimise each stint and get the most out of the tyres. And it highlights just how much of a team sport this really is. But credit to the driver as well, though. There's no good having a well-oiled machine behind the scenes without a talented hand on the wheel, of course.
And now it's time to wind down and celebrate after that fantastic Grand Prix. Here they come, your top three, out onto the podium.
Not a good day for Vettel. Not even on the podium.
And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. Well, the lead at the top has come down after a poor result for our points leader. Moving on to the driver of the day then. Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
I'll probably go for Pierre Gasly. The team did a good job with the strategy to put him in amongst the pack, but it's the driver's job to capitalise on those opportunities, and he did so with a lot of skill.
On to the constructors then. Ferrari moved to the top of the table. Meanwhile, Toro Rosso's strong weekend allows them to continue their march up the table. After all this drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
Alright, so a good effort. We move up in the point standings. We passed Magnussen. We are now in 8th, right behind Hulkenberg for best of the rest status. Constructors, we move ahead of Haas. We're now just behind Renault. But yeah, that was a good day. I agree with Pierre Gasly. A good run for Toro Rosso in 10th. But I do believe Ocon finished last. Yes, he did. But yeah, I also noticed that Ricciardo got passed by Verstappen there at the end, but we were way back dealing with our own issues with Hulkenberg. So let's look at the race director. I really want to know. Okay, there's all of this on the first lap, which was understandable. That first corner was absolutely chaotic. But Alonso, Sainz, and Gasly all got warnings for colliding with me. I only got a warning for colliding with Alonso. Hulkenberg, warning for colliding with Verstappen. That was before pit stops. But strangely enough, he did not get a penalty for that collision we had. But interesting. Let's head back to the menu.
Good day today. Tell us about it from your perspective.
Alright, let's see.
You really looked in control of your car out there. Your team must be thrilled.
Couldn't do it without a great team. Can't. Thrilled with their support. Yeah, thrilled with their support.
Do you have any comments about the collisions?
Wasn't deliberate. Car wasn't nimble enough. Okay.
Great. Well, that's everything.
I'm not quite sure what collision they were talking about, because I don't feel like I initiated any collisions. I was a result of quite a few collisions. But I don't know. I'm just going to go with that, because the car isn't nimble enough. But our rivalry with Esteban is definitely in good shape right now. Not worried about that whatsoever. He's been struggling. Not quite the full points on the discipline record, but that's fine. Definitely got enough points for another upgrade. Hopefully we don't have any issues going into Azerbaijan. Rep with pretty much every team except for Mercedes and Ferrari went up. But yeah. Veteran status, definitely moving that way.
Excellent result today. Finishes like that will look good on your contract reviews. On to the next one.
Yes, it will. And it looks like we have a challenge next, so we will leave that for the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if you want to see more content from ATF Gaming, be sure to hit that red subscribe button. It really means a lot to me, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.